Good evening, everyone. Welcome to April. It's spring, and it is also time for the Bladensburg Town Council regular meeting. Thank you for joining. We're now called to order, and we'll move right into the next item on tonight's agenda, which is the opening prayer. Councilmember Dixon, would you mind doing us the honors, please?
Sure. Father God, we thank you for your love. We thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy. We thank you, God, for a new day and a new week. God, as we come together, oh God, I pray, God, that you'll help us to make great decisions, oh God, that will benefit our residents, oh God. Help us to take ourselves out of the equation, God, and let you take the lead. Bless our residents and bless our police officers in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Dixon. Councilmember Brown, would you mind leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that, and we'll move right on to the next item on the agenda, which is the approval of tonight's council meeting agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Brown. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Now call for discussion and changes. I know we had a couple of items from the work session. We talked about removing Osprey from the agenda for this month, as well as the discretionary
Recording in progress
items. And then I believe we need to add the LPRs to this. Is that correct?
Yes, Mayor, it's on the published agenda, but it is there.
Okay. And what is that ordinance number or resolution number?
It's a contract approval, and it is listed as number. I can give you the exact number of it on the thing. Hold on one second. I'm looking at it. It is listed on the agenda as item J, and it's called contract approval for the town administrator to use grant funds to purchase 6 LPR license plate readers related to equipment warranties and not to exceed $50,536 from Motorola Solutions.
Thank you. And apologies. I got the agenda that was in the packet before I had to leave town for work last week. So with that, is there a motion to approve the agenda with the noted edits? I'm sorry, we already have the motion on the table. We've added these amendments. Are there any other amendments to the agenda before we call the vote? None from the council. Okay. So with that, I'll call the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. The amended agenda is approved. And next we will move right into presentations. Please bear with me a moment. I need to pull up the information to read at this time. This item under 5A is announcement of Open Meetings Act, also known as OMA, violation and oral summary of the opinion. And it's important that this is read word for word, so please bear with me because it will take a little bit. Again, regarding announcement of Open Meetings Act, violation and oral summary of the opinion. The Bladensburg Council held a hearing on Annexation Resolution 01-2025 on December 19th, 2024, involving Hospital Hill. The meeting was threatened to be controversial and heavily attended by Cheverly residents. 3 individuals from other towns filed a complaint alleging the town violated the OMA by 1, restricting in-person attendance to residents of Bladensburg, and 2, by meeting in a room too small for the expected attendance. The OMA permits the general public to observe a meeting of a public body, but does not guarantee their right to speak at a public meeting or hearing. The right of the public to speak or be heard at a public meeting is granted by separate law including the town charter, to residents only, and also under the state annexation statute to residents of the municipality and residents or property owners of the area proposed to be annexed. The residents of Cheverly were not located in the area proposed to be annexed and do not have a right to speak at a Bladensburg annexation hearing. The town filed a response, and the Open Meetings Compliance Board on March 7, 2025, concluded that the council did not violate the OMA by meeting in a space that had no public restroom and could not accommodate all interested members of the public in person, because the council also provided a live stream of the meeting on cable television and the internet. The OMCB also concluded that the town council did not violate the OMA by reserving in-person seats for the press and those giving public comments. The town had explained to the OMCB that under the annexation statute, only town residents and group representatives could speak at the hearing. But the OMCB opined that the council violated Section 3-303 of the OMA by restricting the remaining in-person seats to town residents rather than offering them to the general public on a first-come, first-served basis. The OMCB found it was permissible to prioritize seating for speakers, but it was not permissible to prioritize seating simply for those residents initially wishing to observe only and not to speak. We disagreed and asked the OMCB to reconsider its decision, but it declined to do so. The town disagrees with this finding because a resident of Bladensburg that attended the in-person meeting and occupied a seat in the meeting room but did not initially intend to speak could change his or her mind and signed up to speak prior to the end of the hearing. Therefore, we contend that since OMCB already found it was okay to prioritize seating for speakers, including residents and the press, and since the annexation statute does not afford non-residents the right to speak, it was reasonable to reserve the limited seating to residents only. The reason the council favored town residents is because the residents of Cheverly had no right to speak under the law, and town residents did have a right not only to simply observe, but also to speak, and therefore had a greater interest in the annexation resolution than other members of the public, including residents of Cheverly. We note that despite the reserved seating, non-residents were admitted when space was available to stand in the rear, and one of the complainants, a former mayor of Cheverly, was observed seated in the meeting room. A majority of members of the public body will sign a copy of the opinion and return the signed copy to the board. The town clerk will see that an electric copy is sent to opengov@oag.statemd.us with a subject line that states the name of the public body and signed OMA opinion, or by sending a hard copy to the Open Meetings Compliance Board, care of Attorney General's Office at 200 St. Paul Place, Baltimore, Maryland, zip code 21202. I know that was lengthy, but as required by law and by OMCB, we had to read that full statement into the public record. So I appreciate your patience as I went through the entire document as written. Are there any other matters regarding that, Madam Town Administrator, that need to be addressed at this point, or are we compliant regarding the rules with the full reading of the statements?
No, Mayor, I think that all we need to make sure is I'm reading the end of it just to make sure that I get the council members who are present to sign this as well as you. We will put this on a piece of paper and have a signature line for each one of the council members who are present today. Does that make sense?
Yes, perfect. Thank you. And for also giving me a second to catch my breath.
No worries. And then I believe that we did have an update on the agenda, and I'm not sure that it was included in the updates, but it was on the post agenda. It's regarding the congressional update, which is right after this. So I just want to let you know from presentations, Mr. Robinson is here. So after that, I just want to make sure that we make sure that we acknowledge him.
Perfect. Is the council okay with that friendly amendment to the agenda? I just want to make sure that's okay. Council members, is that okay? Yes.
Yes,
Yes, that's fine,
It's on the
May.
amended agenda, yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So at this time, we can just turn it over to the congressional rep for the sake of time and out of respect for their time this evening.
And just make sure that and then there's a button you just press on right there, and you're good.
You guys hear me? All right,
Yep.
perfect. My name is Nicholas Robinson. I'm a staff assistant in Congressman Ivey's office. We just moved, actually. We were in Largo. We're in New Carrollton now. Just wanted to let you guys know I can leave my card with the council, and you guys can disperse that information how you need it to be dispersed. I just wanted to start off by saying that we're not living in normal times politically, right? Like many of you, Congressman Ivey's very, very concerned about the actions that the Trump administration is taking. They're arbitrary, they're illogical, and they're just downright unconstitutional. They don't lower the cost for Americans. They don't keep us safe, and they disproportionately hurt Prince George's County and obviously Bladensburg too, right? The American people, when they go to the polls, expect a government that's going to work efficiently, and they vote for that. The actions that he's taken and this administration has taken has not made the government more efficient at all. And what Congressman Ivey's trying to do is rely on the judicial branch, which is the right thing to do because it is the law. But he is also trying to make sure that his colleagues in Congress on the other side of the aisle understand their role in Congress, right? And that role is simply to draft bills, bring bills up, vote on bills, and if they get passed into law, they get passed into law, right? The executive's role is to carry those laws out, not argue with them, not say that it's a policy disagreement and then just cut off whatever Congress appropriated or whatever Congress ratified. So the way he's fighting back again is by reminding them of that role and also just relying on the judicial branch. What we want from you guys is if you know anybody affected by the Trump administration's policies, just go on our website, ivy.house.gov, go to services, click on I've been affected by Trump administration policies, and you'll see a slew of resources. There's 3 links on there, one to the governor's website, one to our website, and then there's a link on there where you can ask direct help from us. So if you guys could, if you know anybody, spread the word. We're more than happy to help. That's our job. Now, for stuff that we have going on in our office specifically, moving away from the mayhem of the Trump administration, we have Military Service Academy nominations coming up. The portal is going to open sometime in May. We don't have an exact date. We'll let you guys know when it does open. It'll close in October. We can nominate to all academies except the Coast Guard Academy. It doesn't guarantee admission for anybody that gets a nomination, but it certainly helps their chances, right? If you need more information, I can connect you with our military liaison, and I would be more than happy to get you that information. We have our art competition. It just closed on Friday, but we'll let you guys know who we choose to win. And it's going to be done by the state Senate, so it'll all be independent. And if anyone from Bladensburg is in the competition, we'll let you guys know too. We haven't processed all the paperwork and everything. So if you guys want some of that artwork, you can put it up and all of that. And then it'll be in the Capitol too. Our district's winner will be in the Capitol. So if you want to go see that, you're more than welcome to. And then our last and probably most important is community project funding. For all of you that don't know, we just got on the appropriations committee. We're working as hard as we can to get that money that was impounded by the Trump administration released. They're making some leeway with the federal rulings and in the federal injunctions. So that seems to be going our way. But for the future, if you guys have anything that you want appropriated for FY25, FY26, then please reach out to me or Ethan Sweep. If you guys are aware of his position in our office, he could definitely set you up. He's our federal grants manager. But with that being said, that's all I wanted to share. Does anybody have any questions? No? Thank you guys again. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Mr. Robinson, and please give our regards to the rest of your team as well as Congressman Ivy. We really appreciate you taking the time to be here to provide updates. At this time, we'll move forward with presentations to the Patriotic Committee, and I believe Ms. McCutcheon will be giving this update tonight.
Good evening, Council, Mayor, Council, and everyone. Renee Green asked me to present this report. First, Memorial Day. Memorial Day is Monday, May 26th, and the ceremony will be at 11 a.m. at the Bladensburg Memorial Park. During this ceremony, we will be rededicating the new Pearl Harbor Memorial. There will be a luncheon at the Colmar Manor American Legion. We will need to provide them with a check in May. We had given them $100 previously, but we increased this to $250 last year. We are very proud of Ethan Mendoza, who has spearheaded the new Pearl Harbor Memorial Project as his Eagle Scout project. Yeah, give him a hand. Give him a hand. 2, we're celebrating Independence Day on Wednesday, July 2nd from 6 to 9:30 p.m. for fireworks, music, food, and fun. The rain date is July 3rd. So again, Wednesday, July 2nd from 6 to 9:30 or rain date of July 3rd. And third, there will be a 100th anniversary celebration for the Peace Cross on July 12th at 11 a.m., followed by a luncheon at the Chevrolet American Legion. And she asked me to again say, if there's anyone who would like to volunteer on the Patriotic Committee, please contact Ray Jeffries at the town hall. Okay.
Thank you so much, Ms. McCutcheon, for the Patriotic Committee updates. At this time, we'll proceed on with the agenda to the next item, which is the approval of minutes from the March 10th Town Council meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
I so move, Madam Mayor.
Moved by Councilmember Dixon. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Are there any corrections or comments regarding the minutes? I'll just note under public comments, I just want to make sure it says Mr. White. Was that supposed to be Mr. Weiss or was it actually Mr. White?
It was Mr. Weiss.
Okay.
I'll correct it. Sorry, Mr. Weiss.
Okay. All right. So with that, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. The minutes are approved for March 10th. At this time, we'll turn it over to public comment. Back to you, Madam Clerk.
We have one resident, Miss Susan McCutcheon.
Hello, again, Susan McCutcheon. I live on Spring Road. Tonight I'm going to give you an update on the maglev issue. And what it is commentary I submitted to the Baltimore Sun in reaction. I don't know if it's going to be published, about Governor Moore flaunting his support for the maglev train project in Japan. Big Kid Moore gaga over fast Japanese choo-choo is my title. Governor Moore appeared foolish and sounded foolhardy on his trip to Japan to see the superconducting magnetic levitation SC maglev train in operation. Like a tech-entranced teenager, he jumped around and uttered expressions of delight as he declared his desire to have one of his very own in Maryland, and if he can just find a way. Yes, that same Maryland facing a woeful transportation budget needed to sustain and build systems that would actually serve the needs of the local residents, unlike the SC maglev train. After years of relative silence in response to his constituents who and organizations that opposed the proposed SC Maglev project, he rode on the train and lauded it with exaggerated admiration. He is slavishly following the trail of big money and influence of Northeast Maglev lobbyists who have been working overtime. Sorry, I'm losing my place. Working overtime to who have been working overtime to lure elected and other public officials and set their sights on winning Baltimore's support during the current pause on the project. I and others have spoken with him directly, even prior to him being elected governor, about our opposition research and myriad environmental justice community concerns. At his personal suggestion, we have kept Lieutenant Governor Runa Miller, a transportation expert, informed of what we have determined to be the hazards of this project and apprised her of developments. We have provided research documents and repeatedly offered to brief the administration about our concerns. Lately, we have been hearing rumors about Governor Moore's support for the project, but there was no concrete affirmation. Then, seemingly on the spur of the moment, he jumped off the proverbial political fence and slapped us in the face by making a splash in Japan with his promises to seek a way to bring the SC Maglev train to Maryland. I urge legislators and other officials who have for so many years opposed this proposed project not to fall for the insistent drumbeat of Wayne Rogers and the Northeast Maglev lobbyists. Please stand firm and listen to your constituents and organizations who have followed this project for years, supported your proposed legislation in the General Assembly, and are deadly serious in their well-founded objections. Do not let the empty promises of trips to New York on a fast train and the questionable leadership example of Governor Moore overcome your sound judgment. And as you can tell, I'm very upset. A lot of people are very upset. And we are launching a campaign, just if you want to reach out to me, to reaching out to his office and all the elected officials who have been, like Senator Bidel, Senator Malcolm Augustine, and others, and this council, who have, it seems to be we've just been flipped off. And I'm sorry I'm sounding mad, but I am. Thank you very much, and you have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McCutcheon, for your public comments and continued advocacy. And Ms. Regine Watson, thank you for tracking the public comments for tonight's meeting. At this time, we'll move forward with financial business, and the next item is the FY 2026 budget.
Hi, Mayor Council. Thank you, Mayor James. Mr. Tonelli and I are going to tag team this item, so I'm going to start with the PowerPoint, which I think I will be quick because I'm hoping this will fully share. Okay. So over the last, in the last meeting, I did a quick overview of where we came from and where we are with the budget. Over the last few months, we have done, so as for tonight's introduction, I just wanted to talk about the introduction overview, talk about some cost savings, revenue options, and then proposed tax rate, and then the next steps for the budget process. As part of the introduction slide, I just want to kind of go through the several different things, but I'm just going to keep this one brief. So when we first did the first draft, we were close to $1.5 million in deficit. By the time we did the second draft, looking at different items, we got to $1.3 million in deficit. After the third meeting with the council, we looked at some of the things that we've talked about over the last few weeks, and the property taxes came in at about $5 million. We were able to look at some items which are on your agenda tonight, which is looking at the business tax and the utility rail tax, also looking at the business license fees, and then also looking at some items which have been really good from all the departments, which is one is the take-home vehicle deduction, increasing that, and then freezing positions and also reducing the pay for some hours in the administrative positions. As of April 1st, we were able to cut that a little bit further to about $251,000, and those were in regards to some tax rates, which we're going to show you later on in this presentation. And it also had some updated health insurance deductions. For our current in our current budget, the current budget that we're looking at as of today, April 14th, or when this was published, April 9th, we realized that cable franchise fees were less, that there is increased liability insurance for the town. We've also got increased software costs and some auto insurance that has increased over the year. It's just in general, we're seeing those. And we currently estimate the deficit is about $293 $293,314. As I mentioned in the other presentations, we are looking at a few scenarios that will help to cut by cutting the discretionary costs, like I've mentioned, and reducing non-capital projects. And then again, making some of those changes, we were able to cut the deficit. So we're looking at some tax rate options, which we've included as part of this item that the town council will need to consider. We put together in this item as well a copy of the proposed ordinance for the council to review, so you have plenty of time. What the proposed date for the ordinance, we could do 2 dates, which I don't think we're ready to push it up, is that we would do an ordinance introduction at the 29th. I'm not necessarily recommending this. I'm recommending that you do it on the on the May 12th, the introduction, and then a final adoption on June 9th. So the town council, if you're looking here, the budget that we're looking at is would be 74 cents, where residential rates would stay stable for single family homeowners and condo homeowners. Commercial rates at 82 cents and apartments at 82. And then there's another one that Mr. Finelli is whispering to me.
Recording in progress.
Okay. That we also will look at that we're also looking at that would increase from 82 to 85. So on the apartments, that would be at 85 cents. And that, I think that is approximately 5,078,000, correct? Rita? 5,078,000. So that's the one that I think that helps us to balance our budget the best. Finalists. Yeah, I'm sorry, Councilman, do you just want me? Yes, ma'am. It should be 80. There's an incorrect. That's what I was looking at. That I'm looking at the first line, and Mr. Tonelli is looking at the second, and so it is 82.85. So this is 74.82.85. And I kind of I don't want to say I'm that fast, because for me that's how I kind of say it is 72.82.85 when me and Vito are talking. So it kind of runs together, but that's 74 cents for residential, which is 74 cents in the dollar, which you currently have. 82 cents for commercial and 85 cents for the apartments. And that puts you at I thought it put us at 578, but I think that's with the new amounts.
That is the other one at the very bottom.
Okay.
That's going to 74, 85.
Okay. So that's 534. So you can make any of these adjustments at the 29th, but we wanted to show you all of them so that you had them now. And then we wanted to show you what the ordinance looked like. The last page that I was just going to go through is what then does this process look like? We've held budget sessions throughout March through May, actually even February to May. Our next session is April 29th, 2025. This again is the final budget session that we're going to actually go through it. The first part of that session is talking about the town hall. The second part is a budget again. We need to be able to advertise this. And what we will do is a tax rate hearing will then occur on May 12th. And then the final reading will occur on June 9th. So we will be in time for a budget adoption. It's just that we're adopting the budget in June instead of May. It's always a goal to try to do it in May versus doing it in June, but we are going to, I think, having more time, because this is a complex, and it's not that you're not taking this lightly and just saying we're just going to do this to allow more public comment. So that's where you are. And I'm going to stop sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, Treasurer Tonelli and Town Administrator Bailey Hedgepeth. Council, do you have any questions or comments? I know we've already discussed it in the work session, but just want to pause in case there's additional questions.
I do, Madam Mayor. Michelle or Mr. Vito, will we face any reoccurring deficits after we close out for the year shortfall?
Do you want me to answer it or
go
just
ahead,
answer it? We can both answer it. I would say that, as we mentioned before, we still have a structural deficit depending on how the economy progresses over the next few months. So we have tried to build in some mechanisms. Part of the mechanisms are in your in looking at the business license, because there is a increase over that in moving forward. What we also are doing is looking at all the rest of our fees and fines, and like what we were talking about earlier in regards to some of our speed camera collections, so that we can avoid doing those. But I don't have a crystal ball, but I will say that the only issue that I would see is that right now we're still showing a deficit. So in order to completely shore ourselves up without taking money from reserves, which is a possibility from this year, but you have time to figure that out, you would then have a structural deficit if you did take money from reserves for 26. Does that make sense? I want to be fully transparent.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. And again, the next budget meeting is April 29th, so it'll give us some time to come up with more questions as well, and hopefully some ideas that can close that gap that we have of about 290,000. So again, thank you to the staff for still trying to work through this and come up with solutions that help us get where we need to be. That concludes item number 8A for tonight's agenda, and we're now on to new business items. The next one is ordinance 11-2025, and I will turn it over to the town administrator.
Thank you, Mayor. So with all of our ordinances and resolutions moving forward, we did get an opinion from our legal advisor that we can, or our town attorney, legal advisor, legal counsel, in regards to the fact that since these items are published and they're available online and on our bulletin board, we do not have to read them fully. So I'm going to make sure, I just wanted to put that in, since that is a change for the way that we usually read these into the record. But for ordinance number to amend the business license and permits, what we're asking you to take a look at are a couple of items here. One, there's a memo that staff has attached where we did a comparison of other ordinances in the area and other business license fees, where we're making some recommendations so that we're not the highest, we're not the lowest, and that the last time that the business licenses were looked at was about 7 years ago. So again, this will keep us up to date. It'll add a CPI index to it, and we will be able to add that to make sure that moving forward, we don't have to come back to you every time we need to make changes. The other part is adding the alarm monitoring fee, which we do not have, but other towns do. I will let both Mr. Reinhardt and Chief Collington provide information, since they are both subject matter experts on this. But this is the just general overview of what this does, and this is the first reading of this. And once you are satisfied with that, Miss Watson can do the initial introductory reading. But
I'm going to stop you 1 second. Mayor, we need to get a motion to discuss the ordinance
I think she's going to do that because she'll be the one.
before you discuss.
We're not going to do, but I was actually going to let the staff do their presentations.
And also, it's just a first reading, so
Yeah.
do we need a motion for the first reading?
No, it's just that I don't think you need it for this one. It's just for them to do their presentation on what the information was. So that's all. It's not a discussion. I mean, I think that I was letting the staff do their introductions, if that makes sense. Is that okay? Okay. Sorry, Chief Collington, Officer Reinhardt.
Yes, Mayor and Council and residents at home. We're looking at reviewing, as the town administrator stated, updating our current license fees. Again, this hasn't been done since 2017. The town, and prior to that, it was 10 years. So 10 years prior to that was changed to the current status is at. So what we're basically looking at is increasing the fees and putting in I'm missing the word, but basically it'll increase this year to, if voted upon, and then it'll be another small increase next year. As she stated, that it's going to put us right in line with the other municipalities that are in our community. in the local area. So if the mayor and council have any questions, feel free to ask me.
Thank you. Chief Collington, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, man. I think Mr. Reinhardt did a good presentation.
All right. And council, again, I know we discussed it in the work session, but again, this would just be a first reading. Are there any questions or concerns before turning it over to the clerk?
No, ma'am.
Madam Clerk, it is back over to you. And in light of what the town administrator said, it sounds like you can do the abbreviated version of the reading, since this has been posted in its entirety to the town council or the town website.
An ordinance 11-2025, an ordinance of the mayor and the council of the town of Bladensburg to amend 76-4 of the town code, business license and permit fees and ads on alarm registration fee.
Great. Thank you, Madam Clerk. And so with that, we will continue on. We have a few more items under new business, but I think I mentioned to a couple of you, I have to get back to work. It's 5 p.m. Pacific. So I do need to turn the presiding role over to someone in the room. So Councilmember Blunt or Councilmember Brown, are you able to take it from here?
Yes, Mayor. Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm able to take
and
it.
I do appreciate it, and just want to note that I'm in full support of the contracts we discussed in the work session along with the ordinances. So just want that noted in the public record. But again, thank you all so very much for allowing me to join remotely. God bless and have a great rest of the meeting.
All right. Thank you.
too, Madam
Thank you,
Mayor.
Mayor. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to item B, ordinance 12-2025, an ordinance of the mayor and council of the town of Bladensburg to repeal and reenact chapter 50, property maintenance in its entirety, to repeal chapter 68, housing standards in its entirety, and to adopt chapter 49, rental housing. So I'll turn it over to our town administrator.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem or Council Member Brown, and this one. So this is a first reading of an ordinance that will help to repeal and to repeal and replace parts of our housing code and our property maintenance code. We have not updated our property maintenance code, and I will let Mr. Reinhardt and Chief Collington elaborate further. Since around 1998, this puts us on the same property maintenance code as the county, and allows us to enact some housing standards, and also allows us to start to regulate and enforce the rental housing code and the housing code in general. So with that, I will let Mr. Reinhardt and Chief Collington say more.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As previously stated, the last time this was updated, it was in 1998. This is going to bring us up to most likely adopting the 2020, either 2022 or 2024 code, again, which is going to align us with Prince George's County. And it also gives us a little extra authority to, where it comes to combination of properties and stuff like that, it will allow the town to be able to do that.
Okay, go ahead, Chief.
The only thing I would just add to this is, it would help us to improve the quality of life for our community as well.
Yeah, and I think we had some discussions earlier around that, because there were some limitations. The town had experienced some situations previously, but there were some limitations, and the town couldn't enforce the way that this code change would allow us to enforce and to help out the residents here. And did you also mention about the rental license fees?
Currently, the town doesn't have a rental license program, so we're looking to expand to bring into the town a rental license fees and a rental license program, again, where the town will be able to respond to complaints and also do inspections for a percentage of the properties with the communities, and again, to hold the property owners and to hold the property management companies accountable for the blighting items they have on the property.
Thank you.
And Councilmember Brown, this will the fee will only will help to cover the cost of the implementing of the program, which will also allow us to buy software and to update our code enforcement process. So it'll help us not only with the rental license, but also in regards to citations and allow us to do that in a more efficient manner. So that's where we estimate it might be about $30,000 for the program. And that's what we would probably spend on the additional upgrades in the first year.
Okay. Thank you. So is this where our town clerk does the abbreviated read?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ordinance 12-2025, an ordinance of the mayor and council of the town of Bladensburg to repeal and reenact Chapter 50, property maintenance in its entirety, to repeal Chapter 68, housing standards in its entirety, and to adopt Chapter 49, rental housing.
Thank you so very much. All right, next on our agenda, ordinance 13-2025, an ordinance of the mayor and council of the town of Bladensburg to amend Chapter 112, vehicles and traffic, by adopting 112-14, stop sign monitoring system in school zones, to authorize use of stop sign monitoring cameras in school zones. Turn over to our.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Councilmember Brown. Again, this is again, the subject matter expert on this is Chief Collington, but what this is another first reading of a ordinance to adopt the stop sign program formally in the town of Bladensburg. We have started, we have completed the RFP, and we are still working on the contract. But I will I will not steal all of Chief Collington's updates. So, Chief Collington.
Thank you.
All right. Again, good afternoon, Mayor Pro Tem, council, colleagues, and community. So what this will do, this is a force multiplier for public safety. We get a lot of complaints about people not stopping at stop signs. This program will help us in our enforcement efforts, but also it would educate our community to slow down and make sure they come to a complete stop at the stop line. So with this, we are asking the council to approve this to bring this resource in again as a force multiplier for public safety and keeping the community safe.
Thank you, Chief. And we're chuckling a little because as we discussed earlier, so we want people to come to a STOP, right? This was, but there will be I guess a grace period, warning phase, and then as we talked earlier, if your bumper is over the white line, that is you're gonna get a ticket, right?
Chief, how many feet back?
Well, it's not a matter of how many feet back. It's not, going beyond the stop line.
Okay.
Wheels must come to a complete stop.
Okay.
But if you encroach upon the stop line, it will trigger the camera. And there will be at least a 2-week warning phase when we implement this. We have submitted all the locations that will be posted.
Yeah.
We will seek approval from the county as we move forward with the program.
And then,
No exception. No exception.
and then as we spoke earlier as well, the cameras are mobile and can move around town.
So we'll have both. We'll have fixed and mobile.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Any other comments from the council?
No, ma'am.
All right. Next, Resolution 18-2025, a resolution of the Town Council of Bladensburg appointing members to the Board of Supervisors of Election for a term beginning April 14th, 2025 and ending February 28th, 2027.
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem and Council, as we discussed in the work session, we did have 3 residents who are interested in joining the Board of Supervisors of Election. And I gave you the recommendations. I believe because of the election. We should have a full Board of Supervisors of election. So I'm recommending that we have 5 members, the 3 that we already appointed, and then a possible alternate if that's the discretion of the council.
Okay, any comments from the council? Any
I
discussion?
think we had discussed earlier in the meeting that we would come back to it for the next meeting.
Yeah, I think we're gonna move
For the
this
next
to
meeting,
to the next
yes.
meeting. But I think we were in agreement with it to say, yes, we think this would definitely be a good idea to add 2 more.
Yes, but I
to
still
the-
need
to
to
the
look
Board of
over the name.
Supervisors. Yes. So we'll look over it and then come back and.
Yes.
We'll bring it back in the May meeting.
Yeah, and then we have to really want to move forward because this is an election year for us.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, does it have to be in place by a certain time?
We did speak to our town attorney, and because we need a full board, she did say we can't appoint after the February deadline that we had. So she says, so as long as we need a need, that yes, we can appoint. So I think once we do these appointments, we'll be okay for the 2025 election.
Okay.
Okay, and then I guess if we need to call a special meeting or something for 15, 20 minutes or something, if we need to do that between now and the time in May, we can do that so that we can kind of expedite it before our next meeting.
I'm sorry, Councilmember Brown, if you'd like, we can add this to the agenda on the 29th as a discussion item. If that's what the council would like to just review it again, we can add that at the very end of the agenda for the 29th meeting, if that makes sense.
What do you want?
Yeah.
If it be added to the 29th?
Okay.
Yes.
We'll add it for that one.
Add to April 20th. Thank you. All right. Next on the agenda, Resolution 19-2025, a resolution recognizing Administrative Professionals Week, April 20th through the 26th, 2025. Hand it over to our town administrator, Mrs. Bailey Hedgeback.
Thank you very much, Mayor and Council. I am proud to present this proclamation to Mr. Tonelli on behalf of the administrative professionals. I will let Ms. Since we are doing abbreviated readings, I just want to say is that we are going to recognize not only annually it used to be the Wednesday of the last week of the month in April, that administrative professionals, but is now a full week, and we recognize them every day. So, Mr. Tonelli and all of our administrative staff, thank you for your hard work.
I will share this with the administrative staff. And
Yes.
thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
So, there you go.
I'm gonna start for the camera.
Camera.
There we go.
Okay. So,
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
I think if you'd like Miss Watson to read it, and officially we can, or read in at least the title.
Yeah. So yes, can our clerk at least read the abbreviated title, or you want to read the whole thing?
Please read
Are we doing the proclamation or the resolution?
The resolution, just
The
but they're both
resolution.
the
The resolution.
They're both the same. Yeah,
Okay.
they're just the same. I just printed
All
a nicer
right, so I'm
version.
gonna. She said the nicer word. Okay, so resolution number 18, because I already had it ready. I apologize. Resolution number 18-2025, a resolution of the Town Council of Bladensburg appointing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm reading the wrong one. I apologize. Resolution number 19-2025, a resolution of the mayor and the town council of the town of Bladensburg in recognition of Administrative Professionals Week, April 20th-26th, 2025.
Thank you.
Thank you. And yay! We thank our administrative staff. Absolutely. Thank you all so much. Although that's just a week, we know that it's 365, right? So we thank you so very much. All right. Next, we have Resolution 19-2025, a resolution recognizing. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute.
Resolution 20.
Okay, Resolution 20. Sorry, Resolution 20. A resolution recognizing National Public Safety Telecommunications Week, April 13th through the 19th, 2025. Turn it over to the town administrator.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm going to actually stand up, walk over to the chief, and present him with this lovely proclamation.
On behalf.
Yay!
You can hold up. There you go.
Hold it up.
So just noting that April 13th to the 19th, which is this week, is National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. And as in the resolution, I believe that it's over 30 years that we have been celebrating this, and that the telecommunicators, who are dispatchers, are the backbone of our police department and our community. And we just want to recognize their great efforts. So thank you, Chief, and thank you to our dispatch team. We will be over to congratulate and thank them again.
And so, Clerk, you're going to read the abbreviated version.
Yes, resolution number 20-2025, a resolution recognizing National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, April 13th through the 19th, 2025.
And Chief, is there anything additionally you would like to say?
Yes, I was going to read it at the end, but I can read it now if you want. My message to the Okay. As we celebrate National Public Safety Telecommunications Week, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude and appreciation to the dedicated telecommunications professionals who serve as a vital link between the public and emergency services. Our dispatchers are often the unseen heroes, the calm voice in the midst of crisis, the steady presence during chaos, and the critical lifeline that ensures our officers and community members remain safe. Their professionalism, quick thinking, and unwavering commitment form the backbone of the effective public safety response. At the Bladensburg Police Department, we recognize the tireless efforts, long hours, emotional demands that our telecommunications personnel face each and every day. They are not only the first voice of help, but also the first step towards hope, safety, and resolution. To our telecommunications team, thank you for all your service, your strength, your continued excellence. Your work does not go unnoticed, and it is truly valued by this department and the entire Bladensburg community. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause as well. Yes, definitely. We value our public safety, and as you said, Chief, they're behind the scenes and holding the glue together, the glue that holds the book together.
That's right, the lifeline.
Yes, we appreciate all the efforts and for the town, and with public safety, like I said, we live here in the town of Bladensburg. All the council members, I know some of y'all wish you did live here as well, but so we definitely appreciate with our police officers and with our public safety, actually all everybody, but with public safety and what you all do to serve and protect us and to keep us safe here in the town of Bladensburg. So yes, thank you all for that. Yes. Any other comments from the council?
No, as Councilmember Brown already stated, we thank you for your hard work. The police department, administrative department, code enforcement, we thank you so much. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda, Resolution 23-2025, a joint resolution of the mayors and councils of the port towns of Bladensburg, Colmar Manor, Cottage City, and Edmonston to form a community development corporation, a CDC, and establish a governance structure. So I'll turn it over to our TA, Mrs. Bailey Hitchcock.
Thank you, Councilwoman Brown. So this is one of the last resolutions, and I'll need you to make a motion and second this one because there are funds attached to this one. What we're looking for is the council support on the establishment of a formal structure for the CDC, and also the fact that it involves some funding to the CDC. We have a Port Towns meeting on April 21st, in which we'll talk about this more, but all of the Port Towns are passing this resolution as a sign of solidarity that not only are we agreeing to the governance structure, but we also are agreeing to the initial funding. It looks like the initial funding from Bladensburg will probably be between $30,000 and $35,000. There are some funds, which I forgot to mention in the last one, which are from the previous Port Towns Day celebrations that are still sitting in like a joint account that Rod has, and that we are going to all share in as far as some of the initial expenses. So it's not just the fact that we'll have to do that, but we'll have to make our initial contributions in this fiscal year. That's really where it all is. And this resolution, again, is a joint resolution of support. It also appoints one council member and an additional member to the board, to the CDC board. And it also makes the the town administrator's ex officio members. And also, another other thing is that it also sets up a consultancy firm that would help to manage this.
Okay, one second. So making the motion to approve, but do I need to
as part of it,
Just
prove
read
the
the
fact that
resolution.
there's some, and that we can have Miss Watson again read the introduction as into the record, but that's about it for this one. But at the same time, your motion to approve and to allow funding up to $35,000 in FY 2025.
Okay. That's for FY 2025?
26, sorry, 26.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
But maybe we'll
So
put some
once I
time.
go into the motion, and then we'll do that. Okay, so I'm going to call for a vote and make a motion for Resolution 23-2025, a joint resolution of the mayors and councils of the port towns of Bladensburg, Comar Manor, Cottage City, and Edmiston to form a community development corporation, CDC, and establish a governance structure and to allow funding for up to $35,000 for FY 2026.
So moved.
So moved by Councilmember Blunt.
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Dixon. Any abstentions or discussion? All in favor, let it be known by the saying of, hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Okay, ayes have it. Now, I'm sorry, did I not allow?
Actually, you read it
Oh, I read it.
significantly
Okay,
into the record several times, so I think you're fine. It's just
Okay.
as long as it's read into the record, it doesn't matter who does it. So
Okay.
you're good.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. All right. Okay, well, next on our agenda, just want to make sure that following proper protocol. Next on the agenda is contract approval, authorization to enter into a grant agreement with the Prince George's County Stormwater Stewardship Award Program, Chesapeake Bay Trust. Turn it over to our TA.
Thank you, Councilmember Brown. So this is we received $30,000 in funding from Chesapeake Bay / the Prince George's County Stormwater Award Program. What we would like to do is that we're asking for council to approve this agreement, which will allow us to expend the money within sooner than the next year. This is for 3 designs for rain gardens. One at the Mango Cafe, another one at the fire department, and the last one on Spring Avenue. And those were all funded for the development, only for the development plans. We have to do one thing in order to prove that the Mango Cafe is not a historic site, so that we can get funding for the rain gardens themselves. So, thank you. If there are any questions, I can answer them.
Any questions from the comments from the council? And then this one right here, do we need to vote on this?
Yes, you do, because it's a
For
contract.
And it's for the amount of the $30,000?
Yes, so the motion is approval of the contract with the stormwater, the Prince George's County Stormwater Stewardship Award, and allow that the mayor and myself sign off as grantees for $30,000 worth of funding.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to call for the vote, and I need a motion to approve authorization to enter into a grant agreement with the Prince George's County Stormwater Stewardship Award Program, and allowing the mayor and council to sign off as grantees for $30,000.
That's a move.
I'm sorry, you had something?
As the mayor and town administrator, you all don't have to all
I'm
sign
sorry.
off. That's okay. I wanted to clarify it.
I said mayor and council.
Yeah, I just didn't want you to have to sign off on all of it. Thank you.
The mayor and our town administrator, Mrs. Bailey Hedgepeth, to sign off as grantees for $30,000. So moved by Councilman Dixon.
Second.
Second by Councilman McBride. Any abstentions or discussion? Hearing none, All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Motion has been approved and passed. Now, all right. Yeah, moving right along.
You just have one more approval.
Yes, just have one. The contract approval. So, contract approval for the town administrator to use grant funding to purchase 6 license plate readers, related equipment and warranties in the amount not to exceed $50,536.09 from Motorola Solutions.
Thank you, Councilwoman Brown and Mayor and Council. This is an approval of a contract for you to use grant funding from both GoCap and BJAG, which I'm using but I know the governor's, it's the governor's crime and crime prevention. And I believe, I can't tell you what BJAG is, so I'll let the chief do that because he's a subject matter expert, but it's an agreement in not to exceed $50,536 to Motorola Solutions. Chief Collington.
And 9 cents.
And 9 cents. Thank you. And 9 cents. Not 10 cents.
Go, you know, he's going to look
9
for that 9 cents.
Thank you.
That's right. So again, Mayor Pro Tem and Council and community. So these license plate readers will assist us, again, being a additional resource, helping us to identify stolen cars, carjacked vehicles, or other wanted individuals as well. This will reduce our crime, help us locate these vehicles that are going through the communities who they shouldn't be, and take these individuals off the street in these vehicles. This again, there's two grants involved here, so this is no cost to the town at this time.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Any questions or comments from the council?
Yes, I'm Chief. I noticed you said at this time. That's
Because you know that there's
I know,
always.
I'm
I'm
just
sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. You caught that.
So, yeah, I mean, was that the answer?
Oh no.
Chief?
So you know, there's always the service fees that go along with them every year because you got to pay for the service.
Okay, so are you saying that there will be a town cost to the town?
The
Right,
first,
but it will come out of. It will be paid for out of the speed camera funds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
and also the initial quote includes 2 years of warranties and service for it. So it is covered for the first 2 as part of the first 50,000. So you did do that.
Yeah.
As part of this one. So
Yeah.
it is. So you next time you have to do it is 28. Fiscal 28. So you're good. So you got time.
So, Chief, you had mentioned that the state will be responsible for the data, right? How long will that data be stored for?
So they normally hold the data for approximately about a year. The data is held, and again, for investigative purposes and things like that, we usually check this technology to help us identify people that commit crime.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you. Thanks, Chief. All right, so now I would like to call for the vote and motion to approve the town administrator to use grant funding to purchase 6 license plate readers, related equipment and warranties in the amount not to exceed $50,536.09 from Motorola.
I so moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt, seconded by Councilmember Dixon. Any discussions or abstentions? Hearing none. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Yay. Motion has been passed. All right. Moving right along. The discretionary funds, we're going to move that to our next council meeting. So now we're at the point of staff reports. Yay. So staff reports. First up is the town clerk report.
I'm going to keep it brief.
Okay.
Just quickly, my report is online for anybody who wants to read it.
Okay.
On there, you'll see the different events that we have coming up in April and May. And that's really it. Everything else is online.
Okay, thank you. Next, town treasurer report.
I'm going to follow the town clerk's lead on that. Given the time right now, the report's online, the full report's online, the financials are online. We're 3/4 way through the fiscal year.
Right.
We're watching it closely, and we'll be discussing this along with the budget more at the April 29th meeting.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tonelli. Okay, next, our Public Works Department.
Public Works submits it as written.
All right, next, Chief, our police department report.
So,
Collington.
like those before me, our public safety report is completed and it is online. But I do have to mention one event that we have this Saturday,
Okay.
and that is the extravaganza event that we have every year. It will be right here at the David Harrington Park, starting at 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. 1 p.m. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was like, that sounds like all night party.
Yeah. So yes, thanks for the correction. It's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So bring your kids, grandkids, neighbors, bring everybody out for this big event that we're having this Saturday.
Thank you, Chief. All right. Next up, our town administrator, Mrs. Bailey Hedgepeth.
I've submitted several reports for the council to review. One includes a town hall, Boswick, and then NOMO April, and then one for American Bloom, as well as my normal monthly report, because instead of adding these to the agenda, now they're in just memo form as part of my town report. So if there are updates for some of these things, they're just going to be attached to my town report from now on.
Okay. Yeah, and I'd like to let the residents know. I mean, definitely, there's a lot of information and a lot of work behind this. So definitely go to the website, and it's there for you all to see. So next are the mayor and council reports. I am going to be very brief. Chief just mentioned the extravaganza, and then also we have Going Green with Eco, and the Bladensburg Waterfront Park Community Day. That's Saturday, April the 26th. I'm sorry, let me go back. Growing Green with Eco. That's Saturday, April the 26th from 10 to 2. Bladensburg Waterfront Park Community Day, Saturday, April the 26th from 11 to 2. Oh, okay, they're both on the same day. Yeah. And then the Discover Boswick Community Event. That one's Saturday, May 3rd. From 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. And also, I wanted to get down to the Mental Health Wellness Month. May is Mental Health Wellness Month, and this year on May 15th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Public Playhouse, the town, we are going to do a documentary. We're going to do it around anti-bullying, and we're going to be showing Miss Renee Green's documentary on Dr. Thomas. So we're going to do an anti-bullying piece. We're going to have Adrian there. It's going to follow the similar format as we did last year. So we'll show the documentary, then we'll have a brief demonstration, and then we'll have a panel discussion. So focus, because anti-bullying, it does center around mental wellness as well. So just want to make sure that you all mark that on your calendars, and a host of other events that we have coming up in the town. And also this ended our General Assembly. The Maryland General Assembly legislative session ended. So you are definitely go online and look at the bills that were passed, because yes, so there were some of them bills that were passed, and they do affect us directly here in Prince George's County and in Bladensburg. So I encourage you all to go and take a look at some of those bills. Next we have Councilmember Dixon.
Thank you, Councilmember Brown. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, resident. My report is very short. I sat on the COG meeting, the Go Rail webinar, and also attended the PGCMA meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Dixon. Councilmember McBride.
Councilman McBride does not have a report, except for I did attend the Going Green.
Your mic is not on.
I did attend the Going Green meeting for the town. And that's basically it.
Okay, thank you. All right, next Councilmember Blunt.
I'm real short. You don't need a timer. I just want to read something to the seniors and to everybody. The theme for Older American Month 25, which is in May, is Flip the Script on Aging. This theme encouraged a shift in how society views aging, moving away from stereotypes and highlighting the many opportunities and contributions that comes with age. It aims to transform perception, conversation, and approaches to aging. So seniors are no longer sitting in a rocking chair, crocheting. They are getting up, living their life. So remember that when you see a senior, they are living their life. They're putting their boots on the floor. I think that's how it goes. Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. So again, just it's National Older American Month in May. So keep in mind when you see a senior. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Councilmember Blunt. And also, I would like to mention that we had our community meeting this past Saturday, and it's growing, but it was nicely attended. So we appreciate the residents who come out. We encourage more residents to come out. So we'll be posting our next community event, and we really would love for our residents, because this is a good opportunity for them to come out. Yeah, and the full council was here. Was at the meeting as well. The mayor, she was on travel, so she couldn't be there in person. But it was a very good meeting. So we'll encourage the residents to come out, and we'll definitely be putting out the next meeting. And Chief, always, thanks for your support for showing up, and because the residents, they do have questions around public safety, so yes, thank you so very much. All right, well, we are at this part of the meeting, so may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Moved by Councilmember Dixon. Second by Councilmember Blunt. Any abstentions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Ayes have it. Meeting has been adjourned. Good night.